Welcome back to the Webby O'Neill channel. A jam-packed video for you all today. Plenty of Manchester United news to get into, so get involved in the chat with your opinions and we'll discuss them throughout today's video. Now, first of all, I will bet everything that I own that you slept like a baby last night, even a clean pair of underpants.
I slept like a baby. As soon as that news on Sancho come out, that was me done. No night nurse. The sales of night nurse are going down here in Manchester. Right? They might pick up in London, but hey, I'm telling you, I would not have even woken up if Kylie Minogue was laying next to me last night. That's how good my sleep was. I am over the moon.
Yeah, you wouldn't have been spinning around last night. But yeah, on that news on Jadon Sancho, he's obviously gone to Chelsea, alone with an obligation to buy, but is dependent on performance-related milestones. Now, your first thoughts?
Performance milestones. I don't know what that means, to be honest with you. I think that's someone playing with words. Listen, he's gone. That's all I'm bothered about. It's a deal everyone is happy about. Yeah. You can put all the milestones you want. Chelsea have got big problems with Jadon Sancho, as far as I'm concerned. No, not one Chelsea fan is happy that he's coming there. If you look at Chelsea, okay, they used to win things under Abramovich. Now what they got? They were talking about we bring youth players through the academy and all that. They were lauding it not long ago. Now it's just a scattergun approach, and they bring in someone like Jadon Sancho, who has not performed. Well, I am so made up, like everybody else in the Man United camp, that he's gone. You talk about me having a good sleep last night. I'm telling you, Erik ten Hag had a cracking sleep last night. He has woken up like every other official inside Manchester United, and they are so relieved to get this problem off their hands. They're doing dances all day, all night.
Yeah, performance-related milestones. I'm only guessing that's based on appearances he will make for Chelsea, but let's hope he does make that milestone and it's an actual sale that does go through next summer. But you're looking at the two managers as well, with Maresca and Erik ten Hag. He seems a bit of a disciplinarian as well, Maresca. He's not afraid to come out and say things about what's going on at the club and players, so there still could be issues there with Sancho if he doesn't buck up his ideas.
Listen, I think he is a disciplinarian. If you look, he's stuck it right on Sterling. He's stuck it on a lot of players there. So Jadon Sancho's not going to get no easy ride. If you just look what's going on, the manager's there. He's culled a lot of players. He's banished them from the first team. He's tried to get rid of him. And he's brought in this player who I believe will cause a disruption amongst the players what are there, what think they're going in the first team. But hey, that's their problem now. We've got to move forward. We've had a great transfer window, and that's all I'm happy about. And it was sealed with a last-minute deal with Jadon Sancho, which I don't think many people thought that was going to happen. Yeah. Certainly not with Chelsea.
A lot of people being positive in the chat, rating it out of 10. A lot of people saying 8, even 9s out of 10.
Well, I went up
transfer window.
Yeah, well, I went up from an 8 to a 9 on the news of Jadon Sancho. And I think there's been some real positive purchases, what Ineos have done and brought into the club going forward. I think, well, the sun's out here, and I think the sun's going to be out for a long time at Manchester United. Yes, we'll have a few hiccups and that, but the long-term future of Manchester United, the growth, the style of football and all that is going to change, and especially with the incoming of Ugarte. I think he is going to be fundamental going forward in how we play. I think it's a great signing.
Yeah, just diving into the chat, get your thoughts and opinions. And Curler says, I feel cheated. It's great we got the targets in we wanted, but if Sancho does not get sold, then it means we have sold close. No, if Sancho does get sold, it means we have sold close to 80 million and it's not being reinvested back into the transfer kit.
The idea is to move on. Ineos are in. They're moving on. They're moving us on into a different place, different projection of where we're going to be in a few years' time. Let's forget it. It doesn't matter. Talking about sour milk all the time, it's not going to get us anywhere. The sun's out. Be happy. Okay, we're going forward. It doesn't matter what's gone on in the past now. It's over with. Sancho, yes, cost a lot of money. We know that. That was the previous regime. Well, they've been banished from the club. The way they've run the club was diabolical under Woodward and everyone else what was there. Absolute joke. We're going forward. There is no point rehashing bad news from the past. A lot of money wasted. So Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos are not going to waste money. They have saved a lot of money by dealing and negotiating on all the transfers we've come through. People have wanted X amount, like 50 million, 60 million. They've not got it. So money's being saved, and that's what you want going forward. Good negotiators, and we've clearly got them.
Yeah, we have clearly got him, and it's a benchmarker, a starting point with Sancho, with poor performances, high wages, that Ineos can do deals and shift players out. And it should be a warning sign for current players at Manchester United that if you don't perform, they will find ways in getting you out of the club. Yeah,
they will get you out of the club. They're not falling for this high wages and the age group of players bringing in. They're just not having it. You have to perform. You're coming in here, and that's what I like about this crop, what have been brought in. They all talk about football. There's no talk about money. It's just there's a breath of fresh air coming in, and it will take time. And you have to understand that it will take time.
Dan Fenton says Ineos said they would back Erik ten Hag, and they have put the backroom staff as well in place that Erik ten Hag wanted, and he's rated the transfer window 8 out of 10. What do you feel like over the summer that Erik ten Hag has been backed?
Erik ten Hag has been back. He's been back since he's been here, but it's been scattergun approach, late deals and all that, desperate signs. But this hasn't happened, this transfer window. So he has been fully backed. I think the club, I think the fans have been backed by what's happening. I'm amazed at how quickly things have been turned around. They have backed the fans. They have demanded, the fans have demanded change, and we're getting change. But with change has to come patience. This team will gel. How long it will take to gel, I don't know, but you have to have faith going forward. Everyone is optimistic, and you just have to have patience.
Zamiasi, Arsenal fan, talking about Raheem Sterling. You missed out on Sterling, Tony. We got him.
If you think, no one's missed out on Sterling. Yeah. No one. You've got a 30-year-old player, high wages, who was surplus to requirements at an absolute carnage football club called Chelsea. You're welcome to him.
Yeah, a few people mentioning that we can still get Rabiot as well. He was obviously a free agent. We can make signings of that ilk if they're free agents. Do you expect us to get anyone like that, or do you think it's going to be January at the earliest now we sign any more players?
Rabiot is the easiest player anyone could have got. He's been there now for nearly 3 months as a free agent. He is toxic as far as I'm concerned. I look back at last year. There is no need to go for players like this. And I've just said to you, the direction United are going is clearly there for everyone to see. Young, hungry players. Young, hungry players. Remember that. That's what we want. We're going to bring players through. We've got young players out there in the squad. That's what it is. These players like Rabiot, they're history. They were the old days. It's not happening.
John Murtaugh's probably on the payroll with Rabiot and his mum, the amount of time he spent with him last summer trying to get him sorted. But Marcelo says the way Juventus train, if Sancho had gone there, he would have died at the thought of having to work hard. And yeah, he's a good manager, isn't he? That Thiago Motta, who Xerxes was under at Bologna last season. Looks a decent manager, to be fair. Compost Smurf says, Zane, Pep will be laughing watching you hoover up players you didn't want for his bench. And talking about Raheem Sterling.
Yeah, well, who wanted Raheem Sterling? I couldn't believe the story's been attributed to him in a swap deal or just straight. He'll fit at United, and I couldn't believe United fans were even contemplating that. It's an absolute joke, and I've said it many times over the last week. It was embarrassing, and I'm embarrassed for anyone who thought that was going to happen, who wanted it to happen, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Lee Johnson said Sancho going is a massive plus for us in wages.
Yes.
And in wages alone, it's £15 million a season. Good window, and I hope it's a sign of things to come.
I think what it is, it's a massive plus because it shows you the direction and how these people are working in the background and how good they are in such a short space of time. So it's good all round that Jadon Sancho's gone, and the media and everything, they've criticised Erik ten Hag and they've used Sancho as a stick to beat Erik ten Hag with, saying he's a great player, he's a good player, this, that and the other. He's never performed in the Premier League. I, like many other United fans, I've never seen a performance out of him on a regular basis. He might have had good moments here and there, but that is absolutely poor, a poor return on an £85 million player.
Yeah, Antel says Ineos have done more in 4 months than the Glazers have done in 12 years. Imagine what we might be in 2 years' time. 8 out of 10 window for me.
Yeah, it's an 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 window. Some people are thinking it's 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10. Take your pick. But if you look at the window, how it's done, and the negotiations, Ugarte, Erik ten Hag wanted Ugarte. I've just seen an interview by him, and he absolutely goes overboard. How he's really looking forward, how he thinks he'll transform this team. So going forward, Erik ten Hag's made up with him. He believes in him. He believes he's the right fit for Man United, and the way and the patience Dan Ashworth and everyone behind the scenes have done to get this over the line is great. Erik ten Hag is delighted with him, and I'm delighted with him because it's what we need.
Yeah, also Sekou Kone as well. We signed him yesterday, and Nikos P says Sekou Kone, a youngster who's 18 years old, looks ready to make an impact in the first team this season, and he thinks it's going to be a great signing.
Yeah, what about this? It's gone right under the radar with us as well, because we've had other topics and that, but this player has come in, and it's a signing for the future, and that's what they've been doing. They've not just been looking for players for now; they're also thinking. So the plan is there. They see the future. They see they've got to recruit this player here. By all accounts, he's going to be a good fit in a defensive midfield role in the future. So it's now down to the club, the staff, to get him working and introduce him into the squad. How long that'll take, I'm not too sure. But the signs are good. They're looking at the future. And in the midst of all the chaos of the transfer window, there he is, right under the radar, someone for the future and someone we will keep an eye out.
Yeah, also added a few other youngsters as well. I think one was from Perth Glory in Australia and a couple from Arsenal as well, with one of them being Obi Martin. Yeah. Going back into the chat, Lee says, our first window with good negotiators and a scouting team being listened to is a huge plus. Excited, all our players are also under 26 years old. Also, the 3 young lads in the academy, future is looking brighter and brighter.
Well, you look at the scouting system and the way everyone's done this transfer business, it's called professionalism. There is professionalism back in the club. And if you're not a professional and you're not showing a professional way to behave on the pitch, within the club and all that, you're out. They're taking no messing. There's no prisoners here anymore. You're out of the door. This is Manchester United. That's how they look at it. Sir Jim Ratcliffe walked in here, said, this is the biggest club. I'm going to make changes. He's going to make changes with the ground and everything. He's looking into every proper professional outfit. And I had my doubts. I still have certain little doubts, but time will tell if I can get rid of them doubts. But professionalism is what it's all about. And we've not seen that in over 10 years at Manchester United. In over 10 years, it's been an absolute joke. There has been no long-term plan. And we've just talked about young players being brought in, signed up under the radar. This is long-term planning in every department. So hands up, 10 out of 10 on the long-term outlook for Man United. What these people are looking at is fantastic.
Yeah, Jungle says the same. It's great. We are signing below the radar players.
Yes.
Let's hope the coaching staff bring them to the fore. And we have got a good coaching setup there now. We've obviously had the likes of Ruud van Nistelrooy, Hacker join the coaching staff, goalkeeping coach as well. Yeah. So it has been freshened up in the back room. Yeah,
well, yeah, you have to look at it all. You don't always get what you want, but what we have got, and that means the backroom staff and everything and the transfers, you name it, the lot. I'm happy. There's nothing backward looking for me now. You know, like someone talks about, oh, well, look at how much we've lost on the deal with Jadon. There's no backward looking. I'm happy. You don't get everything you want in life, but what we've got at the moment is a breath of fresh air, right, and an outlook going forward, which I am happy about.
I did see a narrative actually building late last night on the Jadon Sancho deal, as though it's not a good deal for Man United because we're strengthening a rival.
Absolutely pathetic. Pathetic. The days I've ever thought Chelsea were a rival to us, right, is...
I think people were mentioning it as well, as though, like, it's a top 4 rival.
A top 4 rival?
I mean, I think they're just making a narrative out of nothing that's nothing to be said, really.
Yeah, well, they're just trying to switch the agenda. It's like a depression on Man United, yeah. a criticism. They're not our rival in any way whatsoever. Brentford, Brighton and all that. Every team in the Premier League is a rival. Every team we play raise their game against us. No different when you play Chelsea. Chelsea were bought by Abramovich and turn around, right, with spend. They had the opportunity to do it and they got away with it under rules. It would never happen now, okay? So they got away with it. Now what you've got is a scattergun approach by somebody who has not got a clue, and they are going under the radar. They are not our rivals. They're not rivals to top four. Every team in the Premier League is our rival for every competition. That's a top four. That's winning the league. That's a cup. Everything. Chelsea have never, ever been in my thoughts in 55 years of getting out of my house following Man United. They are not in the thoughts. There's one rival, and that is tomorrow against Liverpool. They are our main rivals and only rivals. Manchester City are only a rival on Derby Day.
Hopefully your son call that in. So you're happy then that Sancho's moved to Chelsea?
I'm happy. Listen, no. I'm happy, but everything else about it has made me happy. I did have me worries. I thought there was something going wrong with the Ugarte deal. It was taking too long. I thought he would have been signed and presented on Thursday and then able to play against Liverpool. So that's a bit of a disappointment. A disappointment is not there. But going forward, you should expect against Liverpool a different formation, Xerxes and De Ligt playing. That will give everyone a boost. And I think we've got the biggest boost because you can see going forward there is a structure to everything what's being done. And we've never had that.
Yeah, I think with Ugarte as well. I don't think he was involved in any of the first matches for PSG, involved in the squad. So he's going to need to get up to match fitness as well, that sharpness. And I wouldn't have thought, even if he'd have signed before the deadline, he would have started against Liverpool anyway, really.
Well, listen, the international breaks come at a good time. He's obviously not in the squad for Sunday's game, but the internationals has come at a good time for him personally because it gives him time to adjust a couple of weeks and then get straight into the team. That's how I see it. He might just be brought on or he might start. Who knows? But it gives time, not just for him, but the squad now to develop and gel. I do like what I'm seeing, and hopefully everything, yes, we'll have our ups and downs. That's going to happen, especially with so many players coming in. It will take time to gel, and everything's not rosy, and there will be problems, shall I say. Yeah. Going forward, there will be problems.
As the saying goes, though, Rome wasn't built in a day.
No, that's right.
Their first summer transfer window, so Jim Ratcliffe and all the lads that he's brought in this summer. But it's a promising start for me. The profile of the players that they've brought in, young lads who are hungry to play for Manchester United, like we've mentioned before. Not so much is mentioned about what wages they're getting, and it looks like they just want to play for that shirt, and it's a good thing.
It's hard for me to think back and think when someone's took over the running of a football club, because that's what Ineos have done. They've took over the running. The Glazers, they don't run the football club, but they've took over the football club. And what they've done in such a short space of time, I don't think anyone in my memory has done so much in such a short space of time to any football club in the Premier League.
Yeah.
I just don't see it. So it's all good going forward.
Yeah, Doug says in the chat, how do you both think we will do this season? I'm presuming he's actually asking where do we think we'll finish in the Premier League, etc.
I think we'll finish. I think we'll finish about fifth, and I'll be happy with fifth. I want a cup. I think we should go for a cup without question. It's what Man United are built on, winning things. That's what we expect as fans. But I'm not expecting too much too soon. I see a process, and I believe in it because of what's happened over the last 7-8 months.
You just used the word happy, though, and happy with fifth. I'm going to be honest, I think there'll be a lot of people out there saying, why are you happy with fifth? And I wouldn't be happy with fifth, but I want to see signs of progression with this football team and the actual squad, where Erik ten Hag makes a proper stamp on this team, and we see, exciting attacking football, not where we're conceding 20, 30 shots on goal near enough every game, big gaps in midfield, etc. So as long as I see progression with that, then the future and the process going forward looks promising to me for the following season, the season after that. More summer transfer windows, players getting shifted out, players coming in, and we actually see a proper football team.
Yeah, listen, I want to see changes on the football pitch. We all do. That's what we're expecting. So at the end of the year, I'll look back and then I will give me it marks out of 10. Have I seen progression? Have I seen changes? And then you just don't know what's going to happen during the season. But I think 5th, I'll be happy with and going for a cup, because I can't see us challenging for the league. Anyone out there thinks we're going to challenge for the league? And if you think getting the champions, just getting in the Champions League is success, it's clearly not. If we get in it, it'll be fantastic, because it also gives us a financial boost as well, which helps the club. I hope we get the top 4, but this moment in time, I don't see a top 4 being easily to achieve. If we achieve it, great, but I think I'd be happy with the 5th place as it stands now. We should never be happy with 5th. But you have to look at the club and where it's coming from. That's how I'm looking at it.
Yeah, no, of course. Like with the changes at the club, what have been going on in the past 8 months or so, I understand that. But you've then got to look at the team, the squad, and that's what I'm focused about more than the off-field running of the football club. And Erik ten Hag, with the players that he's got available, should be making that top 4. If you look at the other squads around us, you know, if you're looking at Aston Villa last season, they finished 4th. I think we was 8 points behind them. We finished in the Premier League. You know, if we've got the majority of our squad fit this season and the signings that we've made, why shouldn't we be finishing in the top 4 at least? And even saying that, I'm not happy saying that, because I want Manchester United to be challenging at the top of the Premier League season after season. But you've also got to give perspective, a reality of where we're at currently. And for me, a minimum, surely, that top 4, it has to be. We have to put some sort of pressure in this, some sort of a standard on it.
Oh, listen, there'll be pressure, and there'll be a standard, and the team, what's in the backroom staff, the coaches and everything, they will put pressure on them. But you have to have reality here, and we've all said it, okay? The midfield isn't as strong as it should be. Okay. That's the one thing I think we will fall down on at certain points throughout the season. So that's my one worry. Yeah. But like I said before, you don't get everything you want in life. That will come.
Yeah, but if you look at the signings United have made this summer, the profile of players, the quality that they've got, and they're adding to this team, do you think United have looked at that and thought, well, this outlay in the players that we've brought in, we should be expecting to finish in the Champions League? Surely the money they've spent as well. So Jim Ratcliffe and the boys behind the scene, they're looking at it and they're making that statement of, listen,
intent.
Yeah, that's a statement of intent.
There is a statement.
Not win, but to get in the Champions League.
There is a statement of intent. They're hoping to get in that Champions League with what they've done. And then it's just all down now to the coaches, the players, injuries, things like that. They want the top 4. I want the top 4. I'm just giving an observation that I still think that there will be ups and downs, all right, because that midfield isn't as strong as it's needed to challenge for the top honours. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, Malp says, I don't think Tony will get much sleep tonight due to that game tomorrow. Get on that night nurse, Tony. I actually think you'll sleep like a baby tonight.
No, there's no more night nurse for me. As I said, sales are going down. I will sleep well. I will be bouncing for tomorrow. Anyone what comes along says hello, be great, I'll be bouncing. Everyone should be bouncing for that. There's a new era here. We're going into the Liverpool game off a disappointing loss against Brighton, but it's Liverpool. So we'll be talking about that in a later video, but hey, there's nothing wrong with me now. I'm looking forward to every day Manchester United will be playing.
Ansel says, the only reason I want to see us in the Champions League is the money. That's it.
Yes.
We are still miles off being competitive yet, but PSR is real.
Yeah, listen, the money, that's what football's all about now. You're not going forward without having that money. You've seen how tight it's been, how much wheeling and dealing's gone on in this transfer window. All clubs are suffering. All clubs are suffering. So to get in that Champions League, I mean, the other day it was announced how much they get in these clubs. It's an extended format. They're getting mental money, and United need to be in there to stay, well, to still be able to compete in the transfer market.
Yeah, Melvin says, well said, Tony. Liverpool are our only rivals.
Yes.
And always will be.
Correct.
UTFR. I'd just like to thank you all for joining us today, getting involved in the chat. We will do a Man United and Liverpool preview tomorrow morning. So if you are available, get that notification on and we'll get it released roughly about 8 a.m, 9 a.m. So thanks for joining us. You enjoy the rest of your day and we'll see you again soon. Thank you.
Thank you.